What is going on, New York Yankees fans? Coming at you with another New York Yankees video. And this is the pregame, the New York Yankees versus the New York Mets pregame for the first live team versus team, not intra-squad game of the 2020 season before it got suspended and shut down, obviously. So the Yankees end up playing the New York Mets today. They're going to be playing 2 games against the Mets, one here at Citi Field tonight, one at Yankee Stadium tomorrow, and then we play, I think, a game at Citizens Bank Park in Philadelphia against the Philadelphia Phillies. Three games that are going to be very exciting to watch. I'm so excited that baseball is back, and we have a roster, we have lineups. Well, I don't think the Yankees released their official lineup yet, but they did release their roster. So I did post out on my Twitter. I said that I would start this video when the lineups get released, but I decided to just do it anyway because the roster's out. I think that's all I really need to talk about. So the Yankees and Mets rosters are out for this game. Who's going to be going to the game? Obviously, they're going to try to keep the rosters down, so we don't have as much players in the same dugout, so we can social distance and all that stuff. So the roster is going to be a lot smaller than a normal roster would be. But the New York Yankees play the New York Mets today, and I'm going to go over the New York Yankees roster. So I have it on a other phone right here, and I'm going to go over the roster. So the pitchers for the Yankees are Zach Britton, Chad Green, Ben Heller, Tommy Kahnle, Michael King, Adam Ottavino, and Tony Zick. So those are the pitchers that will be at the game. Obviously, not a huge amount of big names. You got Ottavino, you got Kahnle, you got Zach Britton and Chad Green. Besides that, not a lot of players. Most of them are probably going to be AAA players that probably won't start with the team. And now we have 3 catchers on the roster. Don't know why there's that much. We have Kyle Higashioka, Eric Kratz, and Josh Thole. Those are the 3 catchers. Obviously, we don't have Sanchez on the roster, so not a lot of big names on the hitting side of the ball, so we won't have, the big stars aren't really going to be in the lineup. So those are the 3 catchers. For infielders, we have Miguel Andujar, Matt Duffy, who we recently signed, Tyro Estrada, Mike Ford, Gleyber Torres, who's kind of the really only big name, Gio Urshela, and Tyler Wade. Those are the infielders for the Yankees. The outfielders are Esteban Florial, Clint Frazier, Zach Granite, Giancarlo Stanton, and Mike Tauchman. So I actually didn't notice Stanton was on the roster until right now, but Giancarlo Stanton and Gleyber Torres are really the only big names that are on the roster. Obviously, not a lot of big name guys are on the roster, like no Garrett Cole, no Aaron Judge, no Aaron Hicks, no Gary Sanchez. Not a lot of big names, no Luke Voigt. Not a lot of big names, no Aaron Hicks. Not a lot of huge names, but we do have some guys that we, sign in the offseason, guys like Matt Duffy, and we have some guys that will probably start the season in AAA, guys like Esteban Florial and all that stuff. So we do have guys from the AAA squad. We have guys that played with the Yankees last season. We've got a lot of players that will probably make the team. We do have some guys that will make the team in 2020. We do have some guys that won't. But they'll probably all be on the 60-man player pool that they have for this new season of baseball. So that is the Yankees roster. And now quickly, I'm just going to go over here and try to find the Mets lineup. I don't think the Mets are playing any big names either. But I'm going to try to just click on that right there. I actually don't think the Mets have the lineup released. But I think the Mets should have a lineup out pretty soon. But the Mets should have a lineup pretty soon. I know who's pitching. I know for the Mets, it's Rick Porcello starting the game. Obviously, Rick Porcello was a pitching for the Red Sox, and we rocked Rick Porcello last year. We owned that guy last year, and we always scored a ton of runs off him. I expect probably the same thing tonight. And on the mound for the Yankees is the very impressive young pitcher in Michael King. And I would be surprised if Michael King gets a spot in the bullpen and maybe gets a spot in the rotation if Montgomery goes down with an injury or Happ goes down with an injury, Paxton goes down with an injury. Maybe Michael King gets a spot at the rotation at some point in this season. That would be great because Michael King has been a very impressive young pitcher, and I'm very excited to see what he can do for the Yankees if he does get to pitch this year. And I'm very excited to see how he can do tonight. And obviously, we're not expecting a win. I don't really care if they win or lose. It's only technically still a spring training game. It's going to count for the Yankees' spring training record. So I think they were 11-8 during the spring training last year. So if they win, they'll be 12-8, and if they win all 3, they'll be 14-8. If they lose all 3, they'll be 11-11. So we'll see what happens with these 3 games. Hopefully, we'll see maybe Aaron Judge get a couple games. I don't think Garrett Cole's going to start because Garrett Cole pitched an inter-squad game yesterday. It looked great, by the way. And Garrett Cole will be starting opening day against the Nationals. So he won't be pitching. He won't be pitching in the exhibition games, obviously, so he can be well rested. And he also has extra rest for opening day, which is great. And I'm very excited for that game against the Nationals. It's going to be a very good series. Great pitching over there down in Washington. Once again, they're the defending World Series champions. We'll see what happens. And the Nationals are a good team. And but I do think we can win that series. I predicted the Yankees to win that series in my my schedule prediction videos. So I think the Yankees will beat the Nationals, and make sure to stay tuned on July 22nd, right the day before opening day. I'm going to be doing my New York Yankees season preview, kind of talk about the expectations of the players, talk about how I think the team's going to do. Obviously, I think the team's going to win the World Series this year, so you can kind of expect what I'm going to say in the in the season preview video. Make sure to stay tuned for that on July 22nd, the day before opening day. I'm super excited for baseball to return. I'm definitely going to be watching the Yankees-Mets game tonight, and I'll also be doing the post-game, talk about what happened in the game after the game, obviously. Make sure to stay tuned for that. And yeah, that's going to do it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Peace.